Hey guys, I'm Molly from All Healthcare Careers. I'm going to be performing step-by-step CNA skills to ensure your success on the CNA clinical skills portion of the exam. Before we get started, I'd like to show you this CNA practice kit that we put together for you to practice at home with family and friends. It will be linked down in the description along with a video breaking down exactly what's inside the kit. Let's get started. I'm going to perform hand hygiene, 2 pumps of hand sanitizer. Before entering the patient's room, I'm going to knock. Good afternoon, Mrs. Smith. I'm Molly. I'll be your CNA. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Wonderful. Today we're going to do hand and nail care. Is right now a good time for you?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to close your privacy curtain and then collect my supplies. For this skill today, we will need a barrier, soap, lotion, an orange wood stick, emery board, 2 washcloths, and water. I'm going to lay the barrier out first. So that we have a clean surface. Then I'm going to get my water basin that I already filled with water, always checking it to make sure it's not too hot. Placing it right there. This skill you can use with gloves or you do not have to. It is your preference. I'm going to soak one of the towels inside the water, and then I'm going to have Mrs. Smith place her hand inside the water gently. Does that feel okay, Mrs. Smith?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'm going to submerge her hand completely in the water. And then I'm going to spray the washcloth with soap, making sure that I'm getting plenty of soap all over. Then I'm going to have Mrs. Smith remove her hand from the water, and then I'm going to start to wash her hands. I'm going to get each finger, and I'm also going to make sure that I get in between the fingers. I'm going to wash the top of her hand, and then I'm going to flip her hand over. I'm going to wash the palm of her hand with soap, repeating the same steps, making sure to get each finger nice and clean. And then lastly, I'm going to make sure that I clean the tops of her nails. Then I'm going to place her hand back inside the water to wash off the additional soap. Then I'm going to have Mrs. Smith remove her hand from the water and place it on the dry towel, and then I'm going to dry thoroughly, patting the hand from top to bottom, flipping the wrist over, drying off the palm, and then each finger. Placing the hand down. Then I'm going to repeat the same steps with Mrs. Smith's other hand. Okay, Mrs. Smith, go ahead and place your hand inside the water completely. Putting a little bit more soap on. Having Mrs. Smith remove her hand from the water. and then cleaning the tops of her hand and getting each finger. Making sure that I get in between each finger as well. Flipping the hand over, I'm going to clean the palm of her hand and each finger individually. Making sure to remove any dirt that I see. Flipping it back over and getting the tops of the nails then having Mrs. Smith put her hand back inside the water and rinse off any of the soap residue. I'm going to have her place her hand back on the towel, and I'm going to remove the water basin over to the sink. Then I'm going to continue hand care by drying her hand thoroughly from the tops of her fingers all the way to the bottom, flipping over, drying off the palm of her hand and each finger individually. Having Mrs. Smith now place both of her hands on the barrier, I'm going to take the orange wood stick, starting with this side right here, and I'm going to go from corner to corner of each of her nails, removing any dirt that I see very gently from the one corner over. Repeating the same on this hand. Corner to corner. Once I've completed that, I'm going to take the emery board and I'm going to file her nails, making sure that if I see any rough edges, to smooth them out from corner, middle, to the next corner. Repeating the same steps on the other hand. Once I've completed that, I'm going to take the lotion, put a little bit in my hand, rub a little bit to warm it up in my hand, and then I'm going to apply it all over Mrs. Smith's hand from finger to finger all the way up, flipping it over, getting the palms of her hand. And this could also be a good time to just give a little hand massage as well. Mrs. Smith, does this feel all right?
Yes.
Making sure to rub in all of the lotion. And then repeating the same steps on the other hand. Flipping the hand over, rubbing. Always making sure that the pressure you are applying is okay. Is this pressure okay, Mrs. Smith?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Perfect. Now that hand and nail care is done, I'm going to disperse of my towels in the dirty linens. I'm going to take my soap, my emery board, and my orange wood stick and dispose of it in the trash. Dump out the rest of my water in the water basin. Okay, Mrs. Smith, can you lift your hands up for me? Going to take the barrier, throw the barrier away, and place the lotion and the soap back inside the patient's closet. Mrs. Smith, is there anything else I can do for you today?
No, thank you.
Okay, your call light is within reach, and if you need anything, that's how you can get a hold of me.
Thank you.
Thank you. As I'm exiting the patient's room, I'm going to perform hand hygiene. 2 pumps of hand sanitizer. We hope you found this video helpful. For additional resources, click the playlist for more CNA skills videos, or try our 3 free-day trial that contains over 1,000 practice questions to ensure your success on the first attempt.